episode 19.
No, that was last week.
Nah, fuck. I'm only one off.
Yep.
Half points. Episode 20, I guess.
So it's a lot to keep track of. The whole number a week.
Fuck off. It's not something I pay attention to.
Sips his coffee.
Your one job, Calvin. It's your one contribution.
The one thing I bring. Oh, yeah. I just say the number and I don't pay attention. Yeah, that's funny.
Welcome to episode 20. Our
I don't
longest
remember what the
running
last episode
podcast series yet so far.
That's not true.
Mm-hmm.
That's not even kind of true.
It is.
Is
That's like 15 last time.
No, our first set of podcasts, we got to like 50
Well,
something.
I guess so. No, it's actually less than, yeah. Anyways.
Aren't we over like 300 or something stupid?
No.
No.
Okay.
It's a high
I guess
number.
I'm
We
crazy.
crossed over 100, right? If you include everything.
Probably.
I could see that.
Yep.
That's pretty good. Well done, guys.
So yeah,
Well,
Topics.
We're so special. I think
see,
bringing
Calvin
up
wants to talk
topics
about
is
paid
like
mods.
so dumb. I was watching a bunch.
Oh, yeah?
Podcasters. Yeah, them doing doing structured topics. I watched a whole bunch of podcasters, and they were all just like, "Yeah, until you get comfortable, you're always like doing the awkward bringing up topics thing." And I'm like, "Oh no!"
yeah, well, I mean,
But I think we're pretty
Newsflash,
comfortable.
We're not
now.
comfortable yet, Calvin.
I'm comfy. I think I'm pretty comfy. I wanted to talk. We can follow up on Unity because last week you had some bad takes that we're gonna get blamed for.
Excuse me, my takes are all still good, and the last take was a joke.
You had some bad takes.
What was my bad take? Tell me one.
Your
'cause I
bad
stand
take
by
was-
everything I said. Yeah, that was the joke, obviously.
You also were like, the Unity thing's not that bad, and now Unity is hated.
Hold on. I still stand by that, and it's a whole thing where a lot of the smaller devs are getting attacked by this. It's bad for those big devs and a certain group of devs, but it's fine for a lot of people. It's not great, obviously, generally, but. Like, even, like, I know a lot of people, you would see them run the numbers, and it's, like, less than 1% of the revenue for, like, solo indie devs and, like, small teams of 3 people.
If you're running high revenue games, or no, high,
high install count with revenue.
No. Yeah. Like, per install high revenue, those games love it. Because they'll be paying way less than the 5%, right? But if you're running like something free to play or something with super low revenue per user, you're in a lot of trouble. Like, there's tons of examples of games that are less than like 5 or 6 cents per user, right?
That's definitely the case, yeah. And I do think there's a little bit of that's definitely.
But, I mean,
true.
if Unity is just the thing where they just cap it at 4%, I think this is better than it. Which is like kind of what they've hinted at. They haven't said anything concrete, but like there's been hints at them. If they cap it at 4%, yeah, I think that's totally fine because it's similar to what Epic's doing.
It's just so much
for most
easier
people,
too.
It's not much money.
It's easy to understand. Like, you're not paying any more than 4%.
No, but I mean, you could keep the same strategy they're using now to try and like not have it matter for people with but then just cap it at 4%.
But then capping it makes it simple. Like,
it's just the whole tracking installs thing that like, can you trust?
Yeah, that part is
the
still
number
sketchy.
That just
So also the problem with that is security laws. You can't just send people's data around. It doesn't work like that. You're not allowed to do that.
I think they specifically were going to use it. You do the tracking using their ad service thing that's built into all of it anyways.
Nope, they said they were going
to do it with the problem with that though too is like they said that even if the same person buys the game like on Steam and installs it on his 5 different computers, that still counts. Because they don't want to track the individual person. Like It's still. I feel like you can find a way around that if that's just straight up allowed.
Well, there's been like a bunch of internal leaks, and it's like internal engineers being like, "Yeah, they don't know how they're building this. We're building this out now. This might be the thing by the end of next year we'll have working." But they like haven't even talked about all the privacy issues in the EU and stuff. Like, you can't just send data around like that. So there's a whole bunch of problems with it, which is interesting. So we'll see. We'll see. I don't think it's.
We'll see.
I think they're gonna walk that back.
I'm hoping for the cap. I like the idea. I didn't actually know that was a thing.
Yeah, I think they did 4% just to be like, okay, we need to be less than Unreal. And I think that wasn't really for the record, I don't think any like the online outrage and like the indie devs on Twitter, they don't give a shit about them. There's been revenue stats that show that PC and console.
They're going after Marvel Snap.
No. PC and console. Yeah, exactly. Actually, yeah. PC and console is less than like 10% of their revenue. They don't give a fuck about PC and console. Like they do not care. They're specifically targeting mobile.
And also, they're like, I think I saw something else where it's like they're mainly an ad company now, and like they were getting deals if they switched over to their ad system, like Unity ads instead of the competitor. Yeah, because they serve up ads like Google would, I think, in their games.
Yeah. They were gonna give like credits and stuff. So maybe it's just like that. It's just it seems like they had a whole bunch of ideas and they didn't actually like run it past engineers or legal or just like anyone with a brain. And they were just like they just saw like really high install numbers and they're like, oh, that's how we could make money, like without being like, is this gonna cause everyone to?
Yeah, I would like.
So
I'd like to know who wrote who was like, here's the specifics.
I mean, it sounds like C-suite people, right? It sounds like C-suite shit just getting passed down. You know, like them coming up with.
Well, I wonder if they had there was a meeting, so I can almost imagine there being I even wonder if they outsourced it. You know what I mean? You know, like some companies do it. They get like consultants, and they're like,
oh, to like bring in new ideas or something. Yeah. A consultant that doesn't really get it is just like, hey, look at all these installs. If you charge like 1 cent per install, there's $100 million of revenue. Yeah, that's a good point.
I don't know. I mean, it's a guess. But yeah,
I think that's a good shout, Kari. It sounds like something they would do. But yeah, anyways, so they're walking it all back. So we will see. We'll see where that ends up.
Hopefully, it ends up being better and not just like, all right, we're gonna switch to like a percentage, but it's gonna be 30%. Like, what?
Yeah, exactly.
Can you imagine? It's like, oh yeah, half. I
think the bigger problem now that they're gonna run into is all these big companies are now gonna be like, hey, we want locked in licenses that you can't change. Because like the bigger problem isn't this money change; it's the fact that if they make everyone happy now with whatever, in a year they can be like, we're tripling our prices and there's nothing you can do. And they're like, no. So I'm assuming they're going to be like signing like Epic. I believe Epic does deals. It's like once you can have it, so it's like once you buy the license and stuff, you're locked into whatever that is if you want. So
I almost would assume that would be the case anyways too.
That's not the case with
because like I guess I interpreted that line where they were like they can contact out to devs for individual deals that maybe they would. I don't know if that specifies a lock-in, but I would assume.
Oh, that's probably what that is. Yeah. But I mean, they were trying to just be like, no, everyone does this right now. So it just feels like really not thought out, and then also just like, did no one think about this like at all?
Yeah.
Did no one with the brain be like, is this a bad idea? Because holy shit, it's a bad idea.
Yeah. I still think mainly it's just the install thing or how they worded it at the very beginning when they announced this. If they
the problem is their base plan is 20 cents. That's their problem. Is because people are then going to be allowed to do the math off of that. Like everyone I saw do the comparisons were like, yeah, okay, it's cheaper, but then they were like, no, we're gonna give you worst case, but at the same time, Unity allowed them to do that, and also their worst case is so horrendous. Like their worst case that people came up with within like 20 minutes of looking at it was, hey, I'm gonna owe $5 million on my little indie project. Yeah. That just has a lot of downloads for whatever reason. So they weren't. Yeah. They didn't think it through at all. I don't know what they were thinking.
Yeah.
Pretty impressive.
What happens? I think even if they do switch it back, there's still going to be like all the people that have already like left. Like I don't think they're just going to.
Well, again, it's like, are you going to risk your company and risk like all your future profits on Unity not just like are you gonna trust Unity not to? I mean, it's not even a trust thing. It's the fact that it doesn't exist. Just like, hey, can we be locked in on this deal? Like that's not really.
Even
if you're like too small to get a deal,
if you're too small to get a deal, but like, like if you end up being the next like Stardew Valley or whatever, right? You just like some solo indie dev, which is kind of the dream. Let's be honest. But like the Unity just goes, you know what? For you, we're not giving you a special deal. It's we're not doing 4%. Like they do like a weird category aimed at like say like 5 games that come out to make another couple $100 million or another customer. So it's also like there's a lot of there's two things. One, it's that, and then also it's just like the amount of incompetence surrounding this, like how impressively incompetent. Like you could have asked anyone, and they would have said this is a bad idea. Anyone outside of the 5 executives that greenlight this could have told them it's a bad idea. Literally anybody.
Especially when your community is known for getting
known for ripping your face off. Yeah.
Exactly.
Also, like sitting and doing the math, being like, okay, what are the math the YouTubers are gonna do? Okay, they're gonna do worst case. The really easy, obvious worst case scenario is with an indie dev owing us $5 million. We should make sure that's obviously not gonna happen. And then even when they were asked about stuff like that, they were like, we don't have an answer. What do you mean we don't have an answer? So it's just the level of incompetence at all levels. Yeah, we didn't. We thought you guys would just say yes
we nailed it
and trust us, And like maybe they genuinely didn't have any
intern. Why are you asking me?
Yeah, exactly. Like maybe they didn't actually have any actual ill will, and they were just like, whoops, fuck, we didn't think of that. Like whatever. Like this is like they're not even focused on any of those examples.
Like if they were like a small studio doing out their game engine, like maybe I'd get that where they didn't think of it, but like they've been around for
exactly.
Exactly. Teams of people.
No, but that's what I'm saying. They're either incompetent or evil, and neither of those things you want to be your partner when you're, dedicating
or both.
Yeah. So, it's pretty impressive what they've managed to do.
Oh boy. What's
this?
Go on, Curry.
I just realized I'm using the wrong mic. Sorry, my audio.
No, you're fine.
It's okay. That sounds good.
On Discord is fine, but on I just switched it on.
I gotcha.
Just heads up.
Oh.
But Unity. They the stuff about the CEO with EA.
Oh, that's
or something.
I mean, okay. Here's the thing. That example was him talking about how it's like easy to manipulate gamers, which is toxic. But at the same fucking time, if I had $500 million invested in a company, I would be pretty stoked if that guy was at the head. You know what I mean? Like depending on where.
Now there's the hot take. Now you just pissed off all the gamers.
Listen, if you fucking, I dare anyone. If you had 90% of your net worth and your net worth was like the same as the GDP of a country, you would want that guy at the helm, because you know why people are fucking mad? Because they know it would work. You know what I mean? Like if I have let me get this very clear. If I'm ever the CEO of one of these companies, I'm gonna not really do these super dumb decisions, but I'm still gonna make the company fuckloads of money and be like, we're going freemium, do skins, do pay to win, 100%. I think it's bad for the video game, but it's great for investors.
You buy Unity skins. You just buy themes.
Buy themes?
I love it.
That's actually a great segue into another topic I wanted to talk. Are we done about Unity?
Paid mods.
Kind of done. I wanted to talk about paid mods. I wanted to get what you guys thought on them. I think I have another hot, shitty take on them.
Are you talking about like game mods? Or
like
paid Reddit moderators?
Oh. I guess, no, I'm...
No.
That's another topic.
I like game mods, right?
Gotcha.
Yeah. Game mods for like Starfield or Final
paid?
Fantasy.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like it was worth it.
People online... No. Okay, you guys don't know. People online think paid mods should not be allowed in any form at all. Like anyone that ever posts a paid mod should be shot.
I don't know.
It's
that's the thing. Like if you don't like it, don't buy it.
Then. That's what I'm saying. People are like, yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying.
It's just,
I'm just like, so
it's like, yeah, I don't know. Just don't buy it. You have the game. You like the game. Cool. You want to have big laser spaceships in your farm sim game, and somebody wants to charge you for it, then pay the $5 for it.
Yeah, I mean, there is an argument, like, they're not legal. A lot of the times, in most cases, they're not, like, allowed to charge for them. Like, you're not allowed to. But, who cares? Don't pretend. I think people are so used. It's one of those things where people are. Dude, you should see how mad people. Like, the guy that did the paid DLSS mod for Starfield. Like, people were furious.
How much was he charging for
that. Oh, I don't know. Like, $5 or $10. But at the same time, like, I don't see why. Like, okay, I'm not talking about legally. I don't see why you can't charge for it. Like, why not? Right? Like, free market, baby. Like, if you want it for free, go do it yourself. And, of course, as soon as the game came out, there was, like, 3 other people that did DLSS mods for Starfield. And now it doesn't matter because they're adding DLSS, because, of course, they are. Why would you not? You know? So, yeah, it was just, I was just, every time it comes up, people get, like, really mad about it. And it's like, okay... I think what they're thinking is maybe they're thinking about like what Bethesda did was they made or they were making like every mod cost money and then they were getting money from it. Like Bethesda, the company was.
I get.
I have a problem with that because because you're paying Bethesda. That kind of implies a relationship with the mod's going to continue to be supported. If it's a mod creator that's by himself, it's very obvious that he's like. If I want to just stop supporting this, I'm going to. You know what I mean? And that's just kind of how it's going to be. But then once you get Bethesda involved, or like any game company, I'm just using them because they were an example. Any game company, then it's like, oh, okay, well, you're going to support this? Like, what's...
If I was Bethesda, I would just call it bonus DLC. Temporary DLC. Just like call it something.
Temporary DLC.
Temporary DLC is hilarious.
Yeah.
People would be so mad.
People would be furious.
They wouldn't even tell. They'd think it was like a subscription pass or something. Like, oh, a special event. There you go.
See that? I'm not like, oh yeah, special event. I go to special event. That sounds good.
Spend $20 to see Travis Scott before,
Yep, that's what I would do.
Yeah. Well, I think we all agree on paid mods. It's not so bad. I think
fine.
generally.
Just do it. Fair price. If you really want the mod, do it. If not, make it yourself or find a free one or don't.
Yeah. Good one.
Yeah.
So, since we're so uncomfortable, what's the next topic?
Now.
Only because you said that.
You see, there was more like Xbox leaks through like the court cases and stuff.
No, I didn't.
Yes.
Update us.
It was
yeah.
It was. Oh yeah. There's one. I didn't have it pulled up. There was some where they just listed like I think it was even stuff like just documents from before they bought Bethesda about how like Oblivion and Fallout 3 remakes are like in the works, and then a new.
There's a Doom, and it's DLC.
Dishonored 3. The Indiana Jones game soon.
Okay.
And then the one I thought was really interesting was there was a leaked email. I think it was like submitted for like the court documents and stuff about talking. It was like an email from Phil Spencer to I don't know who about buying Nintendo.
No. What?
Yeah.
How would that even
Nintendo,
work?
Capcom.
It wasn't like them talking back and forth about buying it, but him saying that. I think they said of like the American companies that they would be the best fit for them, and then like talking with Nintendo about even just having their stuff on other platforms.
What I mean, this kind of brings up that whole monopoly thing that this whole case is about, right? Like, what would that even mean if they did that? It's like,
I mean,
I feel like there's no way that would happen.
It would be interesting to see if they had some kind of deal where they got Nintendo games just on Games Pass, even where they don't necessarily own Nintendo or anything. Nintendo still has its consoles.
Just Mario on Xbox, like that'd be so crazy.
It would be weird, but yeah. It was also I always like to see it when people mention that Nintendo just has like a barrel of cash that they just don't have to worry about it. Like a lot of times when they buy studios or something, it might be they're not doing great or whatever, and they'll swoop in and buy them, whatever. But they're like, they don't really have to worry because they're just like they just have a mountain of cash. That's why they don't, always put out games constantly, or like always put a Mario out every year, so they can afford to just, sit there for 5 years and be like,
Another
yeah,
classic remake.
Yeah, stuff about some other consoles. Like I think they had a picture of a handheld. I don't think there's any information on it. I think they just kind of had a timeline.
That's not surprising.
Yeah, like a discless version of the X, and then like a cloud version, and then like 2028 having their next generation console kind of thing.
2028.
2028.
I think that's what it said. Yeah.
Oh my God! What?
That's pretty close, Calvin. It's 2024
That's
almost.
5 years ago, dude. 5 years from now.
Yeah,
5 years ago.
It's been like 7.
Am I wrong?
Years. Yeah.
5 years.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ! Fuck the Wii, dude. What a absolutely horrendous.
Wait, no. This is Xbox we're talking about, right? This isn't the next.
One of the worst decisions ever for console gaming was the Wii. One of the largest.
The 2028.
Worst, okay.
I'm so confused. What are you?
Let me give you a console history with Calvin.
So, just talking about how it drug like the generation on longer.
Yes. So essentially, because of the Wii, console generations now are like 10 years instead of 5 years. You know. So essentially, that's okay. There's some good things.
Aren't you a PC gamer?
Yeah, but I like when there's new console comes out, games always jump forward visually, right? Because big games are made for console. There's some good parts, as in a lot of games are going to probably get a lot run, like new games that are coming out are probably going to run better on PC, because PCs are going to keep moving forward, where consoles are not going to change. I thought right now, I think consoles are already pretty heavily dated. Like looking at some of the new Sony games, like don't get me wrong, artistically they're really pretty, but looking at like the latest Spider-Man, I was like, this looks rough. This looks really rough.
What are you talking about?
I think it looks really rough. I think it looks super rough.
Really good.
I don't think so. I don't think so at all.
I haven't
like
seen
if your
it.
game,
You're talking about Spider-Man 2?
If your game looks worse than a 3-year-old RPG, you have a problem.
It looks way better than a 3-year-old.
Wait.
What are you talking about?
It does not look better. The latest Spider-Man trailer that we saw like a week or two ago does not look as good.
Well, what are you comparing it to?
Cyberpunk. That's 3 years.
I would say it's on like.
I don't think so.
Ish.
Okay, that's just. Even if that's the case, Cyberpunk is still like.
But also, Cyberpunk didn't run.
No, that's true, but it runs now. So.
Yeah, but that's like specific to that one game. Even if that's the case, that's what I'm saying.
I'm just saying, if your game looks worse than a game that came out that didn't run well, and it came out 3 years ago, and that's your new flagship game. No, but like what I'm saying is, if that's the best consoles can do right now, how are they growing in the next 5 years? That's all. Also, it means that we're still going to have loading screens for 5 more years, which is frustrating.
Do you see that the fast travel in the Spider-Man game? It's like instant.
Yeah,
no, I did see that.
You know what? I do see what you say, Calvin. Okay, did you see the gameplay?
Mm-hmm.
It's not.
It doesn't. It looks good. I'm saying artistically, it's gorgeous. Like it's a very good looking game. I just think like tech wise, it's not pushing.
Yeah, it's Spider-Man. But I get what you mean.
It's
but I don't
fine.
think that's
I'm sure
a
it's
good
gonna
comparison.
be a great game.
I would chalk that up to just art and like this art style and what they're going for in their scope or whatever.
I hate how you can't. Spider-Man 2.
I don't know. I just don't. I don't think it's bad. But I see what you mean, where it's not like groundbreaking visuals. Like I get you.
No, but I mean, I would say Hitman, which came out like 4 years ago, looked as good.
Hitman looked great.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying.
It's
like that's their. I think it's okay. I don't think it looks bad. I'm just saying like it's not.
I think we had this topic about. Yeah, we're like we had this topic. I mean,
I think if you have a big AAA studio and you're a flagship like game, which I think Spider-Man is on Sony, if you're not pushing visuals, you have a problem. And I think for the record, I think the reason they're not pushing visuals here is not because they don't want to, or they can't, or they don't have the money. I think they're doing it because they're running against PlayStation limits. And they're just like, we're topped out on what we can do. And I'm sure they're going to make games still look better, but like if a new generation of, like if PlayStation 6 was coming out right now, we would see such a huge jump in fidelity forward.
I don't know.
Oh, go look at what graphics cards from. Go look at like Like, the equivalent here is my 280 Ti versus one of your 4090s. It's not close. It's not a close contest. You know, that's about 5 years. So it's those are both like similar level cards. So yeah, it's not very close.
Yeah. Well, Insomniac, if you want to come and defend yourself, I think.
No, I don't want them to.
I mean, I think I still think it looks good.
I'm not saying it doesn't look good, dude. I'm saying it doesn't look better than a 4-year-old game, which it should.
It does look better than the 4-year-old.
When did Hitman come out? No, that's not what I said.
Yeah, I don't know, but I think there's like a difference between this and the games you're talking about, where you're like able to go through like the whole city at the like speeds you do, and it still looks, I think, really good. You know.
Yeah. Definitely doesn't look bad. I agree.
I don't think. I'm not talking about from a technical standpoint. Okay, I'm not saying, oh, but at the speeds. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm comparing. It's not how, like, I'm not talking about, oh, with the technology they're doing great. I'm not talking about that. I'm just saying it looks like fight scenes look worse than a fight scene that doesn't have the massive speed going through the cities. You know what I mean? Like, like, I don't really give a fuck. You know what I mean? So. It's also not running at 60. So.
It is.
Ooh.
It's
Shots fired back and forth.
These games like run at 60, but most of the time they run at 40 FPS, and you know it.
No,
actually, we know it. We can have. There's literally. I'm gonna find. I could go through old games conferences and find them saying it runs at like 60 FPS, and then I can bring up 1% and 5% reports that show like 20 FPS on all of these games that are like tested. So they don't run at 60. Like when I say a game runs at 60, it's running
when you buy the game, at like run a test.
Okay.
When you buy the game,
I mean, somebody will just run a test.
Yeah, somebody else will. Digital Foundry will do it.
Somebody run a test, and we can just look at it and be like, see?
Yeah. Well, I mean, the last one did, so I would assume this one would too.
I mean, no, when I say running at 60, I mean 60 frames 95% of the time. Which I guarantee these games are not running at 60 frames.
I think it is.
Ooh.
My computer can't do that. There's no way.
You should get a PS5. You should get a PS5.
No.
I think it's still worth it.
Actually, you know, I think I think I'm really excited for the next console generation because there's going to be so much cool AI shit, and I think it's going to start to look absolutely ridiculous how good games can look. Because if they build the next consoles for like DLSS and for upscaling and build special tools just for that hardware, I think it could be insane. It also means that AMD's fucked. Absolutely fucked. Because right now, consoles are all like AMD, right? Like it's all special AMD architecture. Am I wrong? I don't think it's NVIDIA.
I don't know.
A slice of that pie at all, right?
I know Switch is NVIDIA, and the new one's NVIDIA too.
Oh, okay.
It's like, the new one's like all DLSS stuff, right?
That's the
rumors. Cool.
So that was one of the things that was leaked. Yeah.
That would be huge. That'd be huge for the Switch. But that's what I'm saying is like, if the next consoles don't come out, if the next consoles come out and they don't support like a really special version of DLSS, it's such a missed opportunity. You know?
It looks like AMD something is the graphics card responsible for the PS5.
Yeah, I thought so.
Mm-hmm.
I think in the past they've been winning those bids for a while, but it's like, I mean, AMD's got their like upscaling shit, which is garbage compared to DLSS. Like it's not close. But I'm sure they're
super resolution.
Yeah.
I mean, also they're losing out on the processor game now
Xbox
too lately.
AMD too. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah,
so,
their CPUs aren't as big anymore. You've been hearing about that?
AMD. Yeah, Intel's been doing better. Intel's like, essentially Intel just had like 2 generations where they just didn't ship any good products. So it wasn't AMD got better, it was Intel didn't do anything. They do that every now and then where they just are like, we're just not going to update anything, we're not going to move, we're just going to kind of cheap out on the customer, charge them the same amount of money, So yeah, AMD does, or NVIDIA has done the same thing where it's like every couple generations is a bit like shit. And it's like, oh wow, AMD's catching up. No, it's not. It's just the main competitor decided to release a dog shit product for money reasons that year, So.
Yeah. Oh boy.
Oh boy, indeed. You guys see the Aquaman trailer?
I did not see the Aquaman trailer. Actually, no, I did. I just forgot I did already.
It was a
That's
bit.
all we need to say about the Aquaman trailer.
Really though, yeah.
The whole trailer itself.
That the first one did really well. It was like over.
Yeah, I do remember that. Yeah.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But wasn't that kind of also like the back of him being super famous because of Game of Thrones?
And also Justice League.
Yeah, it was after that.
Stuff.
I don't know.
For the record, I don't think
he's still super famous. He's in the.
No, yeah, he is. I'm not denying. But I was just saying, like, I'm wondering if that hype was, it was like to a degree just hype, not necessarily this show's amazing. You know.
Probably.
But like, I don't think there's a thing as superhero fatigue. I don't think it's happening. I think there's a thing as bad movie fatigue, and I think that's what the issue is right now.
Yeah.
Did you see the trailer, Calvin? Like, this trailer is almost like everything that people complain about. Just.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
I watched it briefly, but like I very much didn't pay attention because I just clicked on it because you guys were talking about it, and then.
It's like they kind of checklist all the tropes. I thought that like people were trying to get away from that. Like you got the quirky, you got this crazy CG battle.
Wait, hold on.
You got the little.
Is this not the previous? Wait,
there is some shots in this that are just straight up from the old movie.
Yeah, that's what I was. Oh god.
Okay, that's what I thought too. Okay, I was like, is that from the old movie? Yeah.
Like the one with the trident in front of his face, and then him walking up on the beach at the very beginning. I think are both from the first one.
My favorite shot is.
Like, there's the CG. I'm not saying the CG is bad, but like
some of it is. Or it's not that it's
my favorite shot.
Bad, that's like the integration of some of the people are bad, you know.
At 23 seconds, my favorite shot is when he like leans back and his hair just.
Oh yeah.
does something funky, like
that hurts.
Some things just.
By the way. Kind of cool.
Just and then the edit's weird. I don't know. It's just one of those things where it's kind of like, I guess people are going to keep watching these movies, but this is just the same. It feels like a movie that came out 4 years ago.
Imagine if they had given an interesting director this IP and just said write it in this budget and said write a good story.
James Cameron.
Write something a bit risky. You know what I mean? Like, can you imagine? Just give some like I don't know. What I'm saying is everyone needs to give Christopher Nolan $200 million to make good superhero movies again. I swear to God.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if they had done that?
Were we talking about?
Batman.
No, me and Calvin had dinner the other night. There was a movie we said Christopher Nolan should do.
Oh, wasn't he rumored?
Oh, James Bond was at it.
Yes. Yeah. That would be super good. Yeah.
Cool.
I
can't remember how that came out, but the trailer just playing.
Yeah, I forget.
Talking about it here.
Yeah, Aquaman. Calvin's excited to see it. It's his favorite. Posters up on his wall.
His favorite.
I don't know what the last what's the last superhero? I watched Doctor Strange, like the new one. I didn't like. And then before that, Scarlet Witch TV show.
Guardians
I watched
3
part of Loki.
theaters.
I still haven't seen that yet.
Good.
I heard that was good.
I heard that one's fun.
It's good.
Oh, I don't want to cry over a fucking hamster or whatever it is, or a raccoon.
It is a lot of animal stuff in that one that I.
I saw that and I was just like, I want to watch.
Wait, don't tell me. I have no idea what's going on in it.
Don't watch the trailers. I'm just like, I don't want to be crying for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Very much.
I'm
guessing that's
saw
what
that
it's about.
movie.
I don't know anything.
Well, it's a lot about like Rocket and like how he came to be and stuff. So the
his like depressing
and stuff. Yeah.
origin.
I went and saw the movie by myself, and I went to a VIP theater, so there'd be like no kids or anything. And you know how there's like the two seats that are like kind of like clumped together. There ended up being like another like dude that sat next to me, so the whole time I was like, oh, I guess I can't cry now.
That's so awkward if you like clubbed together.
I'm so proud of you, Cade. Look at you maintaining your masculinity in public spaces. Look at that.
Yeah. You stay toxic, Kane.
And near the end of the movie, his phone started going off too for like 20 seconds before he noticed, and then he just said, "I'm so sorry," and left the theater.
Oh.
Did you cry?
That was one of those fake phone calls
anyways.
that he preset because the movie was making him too sad.
How would he preset it if he... Okay, whatever. I'm not going to argue you right now. I'm not going to deal with you right now.
He was really fast, sleight of hand.
Yeah, but before that it was like Endgame, and then I just...
And then Spider-Man, the Far From Home. I was excited for that. Oh, that's true.
Yeah, it's been like 3 films that have been any good, which is Spider-Man, and then Guardians.
Guardians. Yeah, Guardians.
It's kind of disappointing. I don't know what's going wrong. I'm assuming they just rushed.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's definitely like you said. I think it's just not great movies coming out.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's not like when, like a movie, like it's not like people aren't still like wouldn't be excited for it. It's just they're not because they've seen the last 3 and they're like, I could miss a few. Wait for the big one.
Yeah.
I think they're also just bad. Like I don't think, like name the last like I don't even fucking like comparing stuff to like Iron Man, the Iron Man series, like 1, 2, and 3. There's nothing that's that strong or has that much like. I don't know.
Yeah, they also did like all their arcs over like 3 movies, where now it's
and that was also like
where they go
6
through
years.
the whole thing. Yeah.
Oh god, yeah. They'll try and do the character's arc, introduce 2 new characters and 3 new bad guys, and it's like, whoa. Can we just have like 1 character in his development or her development, please?
Yeah.
Like, is that so hard to? You don't need team up movies every single time. Like, just fucking make good films. Like, just I don't know. I think they're also terrified to hell about having another Robert Downey Jr. I mean, like Chris Hemsworth. I mean, RDJ was the big problem, but like Chris Hemsworth, who fucking played Cap?
Chris Evans.
Chris Evans. I think they're terrified of having another. Or I mean, I'm sure even Benedict is costing them money. Like having this role that it's like they can be like, "Hey, I want $70 million," you know, and they kind of have to be like, the math works out that we need to have this person. You know, like it just makes sense. Like they don't. I think they're so scared of making a character that powerful again. They're not willing to like develop something out.
I haven't heard that take. That's actually interesting.
Heard that, yeah.
Oh, they're terrified of that. Like, how much did RDG get paid for, like, Spider-Man?
I get that they wouldn't like that. I was to think that maybe that's why they have so many crazy new characters.
But imagine if they're probably thinking, if we could just keep all the characters, so they're, like, famous, but we just cycle through them faster, and they're probably looking at how much would that cost, and if we can make it as good money, or, like, even 90% as good of a movie as, like, Endgame, well, RDJ's not there taking $100 million. Wasn't Endgame and Infinity War $175 million?
It was something like... I remember what you were saying about the first Spider-Man movie, and people found out what he made, and then saw how much he was in it, and I forget how many millions a second he was paid for that movie.
Yeah,
he was only in like a couple scenes or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's one of the highest back. Yeah, it's just like...
Good deal.
Yeah, he earned $500,000 for the first one, and it's $70 million for the third one, right? And then that's just the third one. You know what I mean? So, yeah. Yeah. Oh my god. Avengers Endgame, $75 million and 8% of the profits. That's massive. 8% of the profits. Oh my god.
That's a huge chunk.
He got $75 million was through the 8% of the profits. He got paid $20 million as a base salary, and increased to approximately 75 as he received.
Still pretty good.
Yeah.
Like, oh shit. I mean,
because that's like the movie flops for some reason. He still gets $20 million.
And that's one of the 20 movies he was in. But, you know, 8% of the profits? Oh my god, that's it.
Still making money to this day. People rewatching.
Yeah, he's going to be
the glory days.
Yeah,
exactly.
He was paid...
How many years ago was...
$10 million for 8 minutes of screen time in Spider-Man. He made more than $1 million for every minute he appeared in the movie.
Jesus Christ. I mean, good for him. Yeah, he obviously has a team raking them over the coals, but... Like, I think they're terrified of that shit, and terrified of anyone having that much power, and not being able to just boardroom and focus. I feel like they feel so comfortable with their, like, focus groups, that they're not willing to actually give somebody interesting power, ever. Because they're so scared of it not working.
Yeah.
Which I think is, ironically, the reason that it's going to just crumble away. So, you know.
We'll see.
Whatever. They should probably now just take like the next 5 movies and give them to weird directors. Like do whatever you want.
I feel like that's
I still feel like
the most.
Is
that what James Gunn is doing?
Sorry. What?
It sounds like James Gunn's got a fair bit of power, but like there's also didn't he say that he's giving it to random people? Well, not random people, but he's saying that like it's their own story, like with no studio intervention or like less.
Like probably.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Because I feel like that's how what like Marvel kind of did too, where like they say like we'll give it to whatever and they can tell their story as long as they hit like these main beats, but then they still come in and be like, oh, but you can't do that after they already have them in saying you can do your own kind of story.
Oh yeah, it could be one of those.
I still think like things could change around because like for like movies take years to make sometimes, like for like Doctor Strange and stuff, like that was probably years in the making where they can't just like course correct one story because they have 5 lined up for the next 5 years. So like the next batch, like maybe like once they start getting the X-Men or the Fantastic Four, and like maybe they'll start take the time to build those up, and maybe they'll, who knows, maybe they can do it
I think
again.
there's just way too much, there's not enough focus on being like, how do we make a good Doctor Strange movie? There's not enough focus on that, and there's too much focus on how do we make this fit into our MCU fucking bunch of buzzwords, fucking franchise, buzzword shit. It's like, no, make a good fucking movie, and then understand that if you want it to fit in a big franchise, that means everything's going to get more complicated and more time to make that all work. But they're not willing to accept either of those things, and
Well, that's our show, folks.
Thanks for
tuning in to episode
bitch about Marvel
20.
Oh, 20. Oh, that's what you want.
Yeah. Well, thanks for joining us. Don't forget to like, subscribe, leave us a comment.
I forgot I was on camera. I definitely picked my nose like 3 times.
Oh God. Yeah. All right. We'll see you next week.
Looking forward to that.
Goodbye.
Fuck.
I'm not doing the awkward wave. Only Kate's doing that.